Hello Anglophonians, and welcome to another episode where we take a look at the European comic cultures and at the history of the Europa-Park. And the Europa-Park is what we're talking about in this episode. We have come to the year 1988, so let's dive into it.
Let's dive into it. This announcement is very appropriate because in 1988, Europa-Park opened the so-called Acapulco Stadium, a large pool of water surrounded by benches in a circle. This is where the Acapulco death jumpers performed their tricks, as you can see on this old postcard. By the way, the picture below shows an impression of the Italian show theater. In any case, the Acapulco Stadium only remained as it was for 4 years and was then rebuilt. The problem, of course, was that a show with high divers could only take place in good weather and only during the summer. We'll see what happened to the stadium. It was also Majestic in Europa-Park this year as the English-themed area opened. The Queen of England was even present at the opening. Not the real one might add, but back then there was an actress who appeared as Elizabeth II's doppelganger in various shows. What is interesting here is that the English-themed area still has no real main attraction today. At that time, it consisted of a so-called magic house in which gravity seemed to be suspended and a large streetway with arcades. There was also a snack stand. But did I mention that you could also ride a real historic stagecoach in Europa-Park? For a while, this stagecoach had its stop in the English-themed area. Let's take a look at this area from the perspective of a carriage ride. The carriage is an old Baden stagecoach that was actually used to transport passengers for a while. Here we are at the entrance to the English theme area. Right there. Huh? Who was that? Anyway, right here is the Victoria restaurant, named after the English Queen Victoria. The English-themed area is also called Victoria Square, which is why we find a statue of her here in the letters V and R in pictures again and again. They stand for Victoria Regina. Actually, it should be Victoria Regina et Imperatrix. Victoria, ruler and empress. Here we are in the passage, which is spanned by a glass roof that is intended to be reminiscent of the Crystal Palace in London. We saw a street sign that said Baker Street. The aforementioned arcades and a candy shop are located here. So now we arrived and got out. Here we can take the opportunity to take another look back at the historical vehicle, a classic stagecoach in the traditional yellow, which still stands for the post office in Germany today. Here is the magical house, but not in the same condition as it was in 1987. These films were taken later. The English taxi wasn't here beforehand either. A note about the houses in Europa-Park. We see a shop here that is clearly fake. It serves as a backdrop and antique objects are displayed in the shop windows. But there is a door, and this door is not fake, even if no visitor can get in there. There are no buildings in Europa-Park that are just backdrops. It may be that, as here, the visitor is denied access, but there is something behind the door, be it a room with cleaning supplies, a storage room, or even an office.
there you have it, the year 1988 in the history of the Europa-Park. Next time we take a look at, again, well, something we've already discussed a little bit, but now we go into more details to show you more of the European comic culture. Until then, like and subscribe. Take good care of yourself and see you